A hugely vital asset for any fast bowler is the armory, and his armory is to have a short delivery. And when they get it right, it surely troubles batters. And I've been joined by Nas. Firstly, England have used a short delivery to good effect. Why is that, especially against Pakistan?
Well, they've been very smart. After the first innings in Rawalpindi, I was in the middle with Brendan McCullum, and Brendan turned to me and said, I think for the rest of the series we're going to use the short ball because there's nothing in these pitches by pitching it up with the new ball, and also because the pitches have been so slow and a little bit too pace that when the ball is bowled in short, it's not like the whacker where the ball just flies past you and you just react. On these slower pitches, you almost have too much time to think and you almost end up playing 2 or 3 shots. The slower pitches, the bouncer actually becomes a little bit of a use in your armoury.
Now, as a batter, we saw Salman Agha and Azhar Ali get 2 blows from Mark Wood just where the ball was in line with the body. As a batter, especially on a slower surface, when the short stuff is bowled, what are you looking for? Like, are you going for the shot? Which ones to leave? And how do you play them?
I think personally for me, it is all field dependent. If there are 3, 4 men back and a short leg, taking it on is very brave. It's not in your percentages and not in your favour. And we've seen various batters out caught on the hook with 2, 3 men out. I don't think that is very smart cricket. You can easily, or you should be easily able to duck out the way, sway out the way. We saw Barber yesterday when there were 3 men back. Barber just rode it and got his chest and his gloves. More important, you think of the amount of batters that have nicked it down the leg side. What Barber did yesterday, he just went like that and let the ball go down the leg side and got his gloves out the way.
Now, we're talking about slower surface. Let's move to surface where the bounce is slightly more predictable. There's a lot of, especially Barber, you mentioned, he gets inside of the line of the ball and he opens up the offside. How effective is that shot when you can trust the bounce?
Are very effective, and also because of white ball cricket, we have seen so many players now stay leg side and even uppercut it for 6. So if you're playing in South Africa, for example, you know, playing at altitude where the ball flies, we have seen the likes of Virender Sehwag and AB de Villiers hit it over third man for 6. The whacker I keep mentioning, you can take it on and it can go for 6. Sometimes Barber actually gets in quite a tricky position, I'll show you. Because Barber goes across and gets fairly chest on, if you're chest on, now from this position, to duck is quite difficult. Now, someone we've both worked with, Mark Butcher was a very good player of the short ball because he was very sideways on and he got into a sideways position, and from that position you can just sway or you can duck. I've seen the amount of fast bowlers that bounce Butch, and Butch would just go like that, and I was batting after Butch, and it was so comfortable in the dressing room seeing Butch get under a bouncer, because bowlers get a little bit of so much effort in that delivery and the batter's just going underneath it.
Now, when it's not going your way, when you're struggling to pick up the length or the pace and the short stuff is going for the bowlers, you said obviously take some on. What else can you do? Because you don't want to throw your wicket away when you get into that tangle.
It's a good question. It really is field dependent. You know, you should be able to just ride it. A ball around about waist high, you should be able to ride it. It's when it starts getting too big on you. Once your hands are starting to get about throat height, you have no control over that. Short leg comes into play, glove comes into play. Even I go back to Ran Ahmed has just taken over Brian Close as the youngest. Brian Close, I think it was Old Trafford in 1976. He was bounced by the West Indies and he just wore it. Put a chest pad on and wear it on your chest. Being out there and surviving and taking a couple of bruises is better than losing your wicket. Those 2 wickets before lunch in the last Test match cost Pakistan the Test series by gloving it down the leg side.
Yeah, it was Nawaz and Saud in Multan. So the short stuff definitely adds a spice, but you got to be brave and smart.